Welcome back to We Care a Lot. I'm half the podcast, Sam.
I'm the other half, Mel.
Hey, you guys. We are back at Mel's once again. If you are watching, just giving you the disclaimer, because why not? But this one is probably a good one to be sitting on the ground. We decided to do another We're Not Really Strangers episode. We have 3 total? 4? 4.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, we've played the regular twice together, and then we both did a solo episode. So today we're doing the healing edition. I got a healing edition for myself and then one for Mel and Logan to share for Christmas. So, you know,
I've yet to play this one, so
why not?
Just a little note from them, I guess, the creators of the game. It says, if you're not speaking your truth, you're storing it, and that gets heavy. This pack is an invitation to get it all off your chest. Use it to self-reflect or play with someone who's ready to dig deep with you. Be honest about how you're really feeling is one of the most healing things you can do for yourself and the people in your life. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've played, I mean, it's like, I love how it's like, it's a game, but it's not, you know? I'm like, I played. I basically journaled and I answered a few of them. I think I did like 10.
I think that's like a really cool way to utilize this game, because it is fun to just speak it out, but if you're by yourself, even like with the self-reflection pack, I think that would be
it was a journaling one, too.
I think it's cool to journal.
Take it to the beach, have a moment
At the park, you know, whatever.
All right, who's going first?
I'll go first since I haven't played.
Okay.
When was the last time you didn't ask for help but really needed it? Explain.
It's gonna be a lot of pauses of us thinking.
I know. I'm sure there was a time. Let me just start off by saying, like, I'm awful at asking for help in general. So this is not a new question or like one out of the blue, which is probably why it's hard for me to think of. I'm like constantly like pushing myself to ask for help.
I mean, just the last time. It doesn't have to be a big one.
Maybe the last time really was in class, in acting class this last week on Friday. I felt a little bit humiliated again. I had like not a bad experience, but it was just like, I just felt like in my embarrassment, I guess. I'm dealing with humiliation a lot lately.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I also realized that I'm like bad at criticism or like receiving criticism. Not in a way of like, I'm like reactive or defensive, but more so like I'm so self-critical then I'm like, you fucking suck at this, like you shouldn't be doing this. I go into like that mindset, and instead of like just asking for feedback in a way that's like, hey,
it's gonna improve,
can you like what can I do, how can you help me figure this out, like the teacher did go over like an exercise, but we had already done an exercise that was similar to that, so I felt like, oh, like I'm really not learning. Like I'm just bad at this. And instead of like asking for further help with that, I guess I just like let myself like sit and sulk in like the feelings of I'm terrible at this. If you can hear a little clicking, it's my dog's long ass nails that I need to clip, but she doesn't let me.
That's a good one. Yeah. I feel like it's like when in the moment you're not thinking I should ask for help, you're just in your feels of like, I'm fucking terrible at this, I don't want to do it. Yeah. But if you had just been like, hey, I realized that exercise didn't help me, doesn't mean I'm bad at it, just means that specific thing isn't working for me.
Yeah. It's also that it wasn't not helpful. It was just more so like I was in my thought process of like, oh, she's making me do the same thing again, means like I'm literally not good at this, like I'm not getting this. And like, you know what I mean?
Remember that concept? What was it? A long time ago about just being. It was like when we were talking about types. I forget what exactly we were talking about, but just maybe it was like type A. But like when you want to be an overachiever, and just if you're not good at something the first time, that means you're really bad at it.
Oh, that's like literally how I felt.
Yeah, which is like not true, because people who are normally good at things probably it feels like, what the fuck? I should just be good at it. Like I'm naturally. What is something like natural? Do you remember what we're talking about?
Yeah, no, I remember.
It's like a square of different personality types or something.
I think it's just like when you have that version of, if you're that type of version of person, you naturally like can pick things up quickly, and when you don't, it's fucking frustrating, and you're like, fuck it, then I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna not waste my time, I guess. I don't know.
It is
It's
that
weird.
concept, but it like makes no sense, but it does. Because I feel like I probably am like that too. Like, if I had done pottery for the very first time, and like, to be fair, the guy helped me a lot because I had long nails, so like, who says I'm even anyway decent? I'm like, my bowl probably would have fallen if he didn't help me, but
that time I felt really awful about myself too,
which is silly because you've done it before.
Yeah, it's been years, but yeah,
but like, you're not bad at it.
It's just so stupid. My brain is so dumb.
It's not dumb. It's just trying to process something that you're not good at, or maybe not good at the moment.
Yeah. Go, your turn.
What's been the best thing for your mental health lately? Get specific. Get specific. I'm like putting my phone on do not disturb.
Yikes. That's facts, though.
I mean, it is facts, but I haven't been doing it, so it's not accurate. I mean, I think always the beach is like something that I find, like, being in a happy place, like going to my happy place is really good for my mental health. But honestly, I feel like I haven't been going to the beach all that much this summer or this year. Our weather's just been kind of weird lately.
So whack.
Yeah, like, I have gone, but I've definitely gone a lot more in the past. I'd say going to the beach is really good for my mental health, or like journaling, which I literally haven't done in so long. But I think rereading my journals recently was really helpful. I feel like I learned a lot about who I used to be and who I am now. And you just like have grace for who you used to be, and
you can see the growth like on physical paper.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's also funny sometimes, like, it feels nice that things that felt so heavy and serious at the time are now just funny. It's like, God, you wanted something to work so bad,
and now it's clear to you that like that was
never gonna work. Yeah.
That's so fucking interesting. Like,
so even when now I'm like, I want this to work so fucking bad. Which, like, I'm speaking vaguely about whatever. Like, I want to be a freelancer so fucking bad. I want that to be what's going to work for me. And maybe it will. I'm not saying it won't. In 10 years, I'm going to know. Yeah. Whether that is meant for me or not. And I'll be like, I'm so glad I am where I am, regardless of where it is.
Yeah, that's facts.
So, I'd say that. Journaling.
That's a good one. I feel like people think it's also, like, this constant thing you have to do, like, every single day, which I think that's great if you do, but even just, like, check-ins with yourself, like,
I mean, it's probably been, like, 6 months, and I was like, it feels like a task, because my hand always hurts after, because I had to write so much, which it wouldn't hurt so bad if I didn't have to write an update about so much, but I always feel better after. Yeah. It's like working out. Like, you kind of dread it.
But then you're like, I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah.
There's so much that came out of it.
Yep.
This one says, reminder, pay attention to who you're with when you feel your best.
Cute.
Do I play another?
Just a thought.
Just a thought.
Just a thought.
Just a little reminder for y'all.
Yeah, there. You pick another.
What hurt your younger self that you never fully healed from?
Oh my God.
What would you say to your younger self today?
God, that's a really
interesting.
It's a really deep one.
I have, like, this very strong memory of, like, being in a group of, like, so when I was younger, like, in the same neighborhood that my parents live right now, when I was little, the whole block was kind of, like, friends with one another.
Like the kids.
Like, in the afternoons, everyone was out on their scooters or fucking skateboards, bikes, just hanging out, or just, like, running around and shit. Kind of magical, actually, now that I think about it. Like, I feel like that doesn't really happen, anymore. I remember being around, like, my friends at the time, and there was, like, this moment where one of my friends, who I think was kind of, like, a bully at the time. I don't really know her anymore, so I can't say anything, but when we were little, she was kind of, like, bully-ish, and she had said something to her brother that was, like, mean.
About him. Or about
you.
Like,
kind of, like, go away, like, you're so annoying. And everyone was adding in, like, something about it.
Oh!
And then, but then, like, me being the impressionable little child that I was, I also thought that it was okay to do it, so I did it too. And then they all turned on me and said, like, what the fuck are you saying, kind of a thing.
You're like, what the fuck? We're all just in on this.
And then after that, I was kind of like, not forever, but like during that day, like for the rest of the day, I was really like kind of exiled, and like everyone was kind of mean to me at that point. And I was just like, didn't really understand what the boundaries were or like what I did wrong. But I think just like my child brain developed that as like, you're in the outs of groups. Like, people don't like you. Like, you're not easy to like. And whenever like you do try to be a part of a group, you're the awkward one out. Like,
even just that one specific scenario that's like
Yeah.
literally not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think like as I grew up, maybe just like my anxious energy really attracted similar things to happen. And I feel like it just happened like repetitively as I grew up, like with different types of groups. Not that I was like trying to be mean, but I just always felt like the odd one
You said
out.
I kept trying to be mean to people and they just didn't
didn't like me. No, but like I just always felt like the odd man out.
Yeah.
And I think that like as an adult now, I think I am like moving away from that, but it's taking me a really long time to rehearse something else in my brain.
Yeah.
But like I still, and I think that's why like as like a high schooler or a middle schooler, I got really possessive over the friends that I did have, because I was like, you actually like me. Like there's a reason that you do, and I don't know why, but like thank you. And like I want to keep you close. And so I don't know, I think that was really hurtful. And I feel like I've never really fully healed from that. I think that like obviously I still deal with like these like self-isolating thoughts whenever I'm in groups of friends, which is, I've been like working on that when I was in therapy. I was working on that, and I've kind of just like come to the place where I'm like, I think I really enjoy like one-on-one connections or like small groups of friends. I can't have like, I'm not a person I guess that can have a big group of friends, because then I start to feel like isolated out. So I'm just like working on it still. But that's one. And what would I say to my younger self? That it wasn't like my fault.
Yeah.
And that you're gonna find like, even within that group there was like people that I had like one-on-one connections, and they were just different, you know. People were probably no one was gonna remember that moment except me.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting you say that. I don't want to like put this child on blast, but recently there was a kid that I know, and a similar experience happened where their friends isolated them from the group and were like gossiping visibly about them, and they were really upset, and they didn't come to me, but I could tell they were upset, and then I asked, and then whatever. But I just tell them like, don't worry about it. It's not you. It's just, it genuinely, and it's not even like, now I'm mad at these kids, like screw these other little kids for hurting this kid. I care about their feelings, because I just know that's like kids' nature. Sometimes you'll be the one on the in, and sometimes you'll be the one on the out. And it's just, even between, like I would fight with my cousins, like, and it'd be like, God, like we're so like, and it's just the two of us.
Literally.
And it's like, we're on the outs now. Okay, well, we're here all weekend, so figure it out. But yeah, I think it's like a very common, I guess, experience. But it is really hard to change those thoughts, because I have thoughts about like, I don't know, probably about fucking relationships that I tell myself like they're lying to you, or they're not being honest, don't trust them, like don't give people the benefit of the doubt anymore, like, or you don't know better, you can't tell when someone's honest or whatever, like those thoughts that you tell yourself over and over again. So how do you suddenly start saying, I do trust myself, I know when someone's wrong, I know when to leave, I know this, I know that. Like it's so much easier to just be like, to literally isolate yourself in those thoughts.
It's also like so easy, like for me, I purposefully look for evidence as to why those thoughts are really like they're actually happening, when like in reality I'm just really like you're gonna find whatever you're looking for.
You can make anything
look
that way,
look real,
fit your narrative that you're trying
to.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of the time it's really like like I literally have to de-escalate my mind and be like, yeah, maybe that's a coincidence, but it doesn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm like, I have to like, or like if somebody is making me, or if I'm feeling like somebody is acting a little bit off, even if I'm right, I'm just like, it might not even be a fucking about you. Like, it could just be like this person is having
a busy day or a bad
just like
day.
they're just going through something on their own terms, and maybe they're taking it out on you, or maybe they're just like not giving you the same energy you're used to. But it's not personal. Like, it's not personal to you. And I think that's another thing I would tell myself. But like, that's a hard thing to tell a kid.
It's not
like,
personal.
It's not about you. You know,
Like everything's about me. I'm a kid.
About the kid.
Yeah.
When you're a kid.
Yeah.
But
I think like all of my friends have not, I don't know what to classify it as, but like this thought of like my friends are mad at me. And it's like what is with our generation of being so concerned about people pleasing? I don't know if it's just the group of friends I have or the people we attract, because I know there's some selfish people out there who don't give a fuck, but or just people who are confident and don't give a fuck in like a good way.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm often like, even if it's about me and this friend, my friend will be like, yeah, I was scared that you were like mad at me. And I'm like, dude, no, of course I wasn't mad at you. Like, maybe I was like bummed or whatever that you had to cancel, but like, whatever. I always bring myself back to like, is this going to end my friendship with this person? And the answer is always no, because it's not that deep. It's not that serious. And if the answer, even in my head, if the answer is yes, okay, then what? If this is ending your friendship with that person, obviously that's hard, but okay, like clearly you feel like there's a reason to not be friends with this person enough to even in your own mind be like, I guess it is. Or just accepting the fact, like, if this does end my friendship with them, then we weren't meant to be good friends. Like, if this means that much to them but not enough to me or whatever,
that is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. But it's hard coming to that peace.
For sure.
Being at peace with our decisions is like really an issue.
That's an issue. I think it's because we're so indecisive as people, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
Okay. Are you for real? Okay. What's been causing you unnecessary stress? What would help alleviate that for you? I really didn't want to talk about this on the podcast because I'm tired of talking about relationships, because clearly everyone's freaking
Uh-oh.
I feel like everyone's fucking apparently beefed up in my life about me talking about my life. But unnecessary stress, literally this past week I've been having is, I'm like, how vague should I be?
Bitch, just say it. Because if they're listening, they're listening.
Yeah. My exes are reaching out. I don't know. I don't really, it's
a one-way situation. Like, she's not answering.
And it's really, like, literally I was so triggered. This person called me in the middle of the night. Haven't heard from them in a very long time. And it instantly took me back to our relationship and the feelings I would have in the middle of the night when I was with them. And I literally had to de-escalate my mind. Like, I was in a panic. My body, my mind couldn't even control my body anymore. That's how bad it was. Like, I was just like, you are anxious. Your stomach hurts. You feel like something bad is going to happen. I instantly was having negative thoughts. Like, you need to stop podcasting. Like, you need to stop talking about everything. Like, it's not worth it. This isn't worth it. And then obviously in the morning I had clarity and I was like, dude, like, this is my life. I have the right to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You have every right to not listen. And if it also had nothing to do with the podcast, that's also an option. Like, they could have been calling because they in general had something to say.
Call, man.
Yeah. And it just feels really unfair. Like, it's literally unnecessary stress.
It really is, though.
Because at the end of the day, I'm protecting my peace by not answering, because whatever you have to say, it serves no purpose.
There's no need for you to hear it.
Like, if you're mad, okay, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, literally, what am I supposed to do about that? If you're sorry, okay, write me a fucking letter then. Don't call me at 1 a.m. Or even
just, you journal about it yourself. Like, I don't even think you need that anymore.
I don't. Though. Exactly. Like, this is just creating this for me. And then I got no caller ID calls last night, and I'm like, what is going on?
You're like, which one is it?
Now I don't know which one it was, or I mean, it's not just someone that I know friendly trying to prank call me, you know?
No.
And how can I fucking alleviate that for myself?
Do not disturb.
I guess do not disturb at night. But even then, like,
When you
last
wake
night
up.
I was awake.
Yeah.
So I saw it. Like, it came up and I was awake. So I'm like, okay. And, like, it literally, I'm talking to someone right now. So texting them. So, like, in the midst of me, like, not that I'm, like, having a blast, giggling, kicking my feet, and, like,
Kicking your feet.
like, laying in the bed, you know. It's not like I'm having, like, the best time of my life texting this person and you ruined it. But it's just like, oh, great. Now that's on my mind. Like, you don't have access to me anymore. So why the fuck do you have any control over my emotions right now? And I literally had to tell myself over and over again, don't say anything to this person. Like
Like,
they
don't respond. Don't give any...
No, like, don't tell the person I'm talking to.
Oh, that
oh
they
my God, my
called you.
ex is calling me. Because it's not their concern. I don't need them to alleviate that for me. It just...
I get what you're saying.
It just feels unhealthy to, like, put that on someone. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, what
That's
would
crazy.
you say if they
Yeah, I'd be like,
response? All right.
Like, you got a toxic ex, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or, like, unfinished business. Like, then they start, you know, in their own head. And it's, like, sabotaging your own new relationship, potential relationship, whatever. So, yeah. I guess do not disturb. Like, why are you calling on no caller ID? Yeah, I think alleviating it is just the do not disturb. I guess I could block their I just, like, it's not even, like, I don't want to hear from them. Like, I hate them so much. It's just, like, why are you calling me at 1 a.m?
Literally, why are you
respect my time. I don't know. What? Like, call me at 1 p.m. and maybe I'd be a little more like, or like leave a voicemail, like, or a text me. Hey, I just really wanted to talk to you. I understand if you don't want to speak to me. I just wanted to catch up. Or, you know, but it's not that
it's like
at 1 in the morning.
Ambush. Yeah, it's just like either you're drunk and you're fucking trying to call me, which, like, I don't want to fucking speak to you in that way. Either way. I don't want to period, but, like, especially not when you're drunk and just having a conversation in that way, but it's just dumb.
I just feel like if it's coming from a genuine place, it wouldn't be in those circumstances. Yeah. And I don't know, like, I still, like, even talking about it on the podcast, I know this is going to come out in 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks, if they fucking call me again, or I'm just going to overthink it again, and I just don't think that's fair. So, like, if you're listening, like, I have no ill will towards anybody. I wish you nothing but the best. I'm not fucking plotting against your life. Whatever you do, I don't care. I'm just trying to share my experience on this podcast and hopefully connect with other people and help them with whatever they're going through. Because believe it or not, we didn't talk about that topic just so we could talk about our exes again. There's people in our lives going through very similar things.
Yeah.
And that's why these topics come up. Or, like, general pop culture things are going on, like the Scandival things. So we talk about our experiences within that. It's not like we're so... In our regular lives, we're not talking about you. We're not talking about how affected we are by our exes every fucking day, or even at all, really. So it's like, this is just a very special circumstance. And, like, if my exes had podcasts, I wouldn't listen. Point blank, period. I don't want to... I don't want my feelings hurt.
That's true.
Because you have every right to have your side of the story, and I don't have to hear it.
And vice versa.
Yeah. Period. So, life's been a lot.
Also, it's, like, not all fucking about you. Like, wild card. What promise do you want to keep to yourself this year? Write it out and date it.
Oh, shit.
I
Yeah.
have paper about. Put it in my notes later.
Okay.
A promise.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be like a goal. It could just be like improving this about yourself, or keep trying this, or...
I don't fucking know. Damn. It's the fact that I can't promise anything to myself.
You can. You just gotta think of it.
I feel like at the moment my brain is, like, so, like, so focused in on, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, like, career or just, like, that kind of sense. I don't know, so I guess maybe, like, promising to myself to explore and, like, execute things that I want to do. I feel like there's 3 things. One of them I'm doing, like, I'm going to class.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. But, like, there's also other elements of me that I'm like, if you just put a little time to it, you don't know what could happen, you know? So maybe just like at least executing, putting some time weekly or whatever to those situations. I don't know. I feel like that's all I can think about right now.
Okay.
So
I feel like similarly, it would be less vague if you're trying to do more vague. Like just promising to make time for yourself and like exploring things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Instead of just like always being about what you have to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Or need to do. Things you want to do.
Yeah. That's a good one.
How many are we going to do? 5 maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm on this is my third, so
okay.
Technically.
Yeah, same.
This is kind of a similar question to what I already answered, but what's been the worst thing for your mental health lately that's within your control to change? It like combined both of my questions.
Do you want a different one?
Yeah, I feel like my answer would be really similar. Oh, that's cute. Wild card. Write down the names of everyone you feel unconditionally loved by. Make more time for these people, even if it's yourself.
Damn,
I'm gonna cry. Okay, I'm just gonna say them out loud, I guess. Damn, that's like a lot of people, though.
Also, real thought. Did you think about yourself immediately?
No.
Period.
Definitely
I was like, who would I put? And I was like, not myself.
I mean, I do love myself unconditionally, but
like it wasn't the first
doesn't
time, you know what I mean?
It doesn't feel as easy as other people's because I don't have the inside of their brains. Damn, but what if I forget someone?
Damn.
They're gonna take it really personally. Loves me unconditionally. Okay, here we go. Let's start with family. My niece and nephew, my sister-in-law, my brother, my sister. I feel like my brother-in-law. May have to work on that relationship a little more. My mom and dad. Who else in my family? My Nina, my cousins. Like, it's like is this exercise supposed to be like, look how many people love you? Is that the point? Because I'm like,
unconditionally. You would say everybody would.
I think yeah, yeah. Like I probably wouldn't list any other family outside of my like Nina's orbit.
Yeah, like that side of that family or that family unit.
Yeah. Okay, family. And then friends. No, there's friends too, which is a whole nother thing. Obviously Mel, Logan, Katie, Victoria. I think that's it. I have other really good friends, but we're not on the unconditional level yet.
And it's not bad that it's not unconditional. No. It's just like... It just is.
Yeah, like, I'm like, okay, if I were to fuck you over tomorrow, you might be like...
Fuck this bitch.
Yeah, but like Mel, if I were to fuck her over tomorrow, she'd think a little harder about it.
I'd be like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. I guess myself too, at the end.
And then it's telling you to...
make more time for them. God.
Period. I feel like you do that already, though.
I'm like... like, oh my God. Yeah.
A lot of time. Do you do that?
I think so.
No.
What?
No, I don't.
You gotta roast yourself?
I can't do it because I have to get up and like...
Oh, okay. It's...
I'm like, no.
Not a standing up one.
Wow. Okay. Wild card. Delete all of your social media apps for a day. Journal about how you felt after.
Lit.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to do that right now because
I won't do that right now, but I will do that, and then maybe you can post my journal entry or whatever.
Oh yeah, so as maybe, the reminder or something.
Yeah, I'll delete it because I feel like today's already kind of gone by. I'll
like
do
a half
tomorrow.
a day. Yeah. A Tuesday.
Tuesday. Wow. When was the first mental health scare you remember having?
My goodness.
What stands out to you about it? Ooh. Like for myself or in general?
What do you mean in general?
Like seeing it
like somebody
else?
Probably yourself, I'd say, since it's, well, I mean, it could have had an impact on you, someone else, but whatever you want. Either one.
I think I'm going to say both just because, like, I think one impacted my brain, I guess, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was, like, 9 years old or 10, my uncle committed suicide. And I, like, that was, like, my first, like, concept of suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the reactions towards it, too. Like, I feel like my mom went into a bit of like delusion,
Like her own mental
and her
health
own mental
crisis.
health scare. Yeah. And just like it was, I know this sounds weird, but I was like fascinated about like the details of like what suicide is and was, and like what he did to do it, you know? As like a 10-year-old who's learning about it, I was just like, that's just so weird that somebody could just do that.
Yeah. Because you don't think about that as a kid. You think it's all accidents why people die.
It's accidents, yeah, for sure. Or like old age. You never think like,
I chose that.
it's a chosen thing, for sure. And then, I don't know, I think like in middle school, I think like being a little angsty teen, I didn't really understand all my like big emotions. I think, I mean, even as a kid, I think that's why kids throw tantrums. But as you grow older and you're in middle school and high school, it's not as acceptable to throw tantrums, you know? So you kind of like deal with them in different ways. And so all of my big emotions I executed in like self-harm or just like deep isolation.
Unhealthy ways of coping.
Yeah. And I remember like talking to my friends about it. And I think at that time it was also not necessarily like cool to be sad. I was going to
say it was kind of cool to be sad.
But like my friend and I would constantly like check in on each other about like the self-harm that we were doing and being honest about it.
It's so interesting. That was our generation.
So like it was like normalized to one another, and it was also like cool in a weird way, or not even like, that sounds stupid, but it
made you feel in on something.
Yeah,
I think that was why.
But I even feel like that's not even why I was doing it. I think it was just like it made me learn about it, and I was like, oh, this actually does, I guess, kind of help alleviate these like weird like big feelings that I have.
And it probably also, you doing it was its own like part, and then having someone to talk to about it and them not being like, stop doing it. It was like, this is okay, and like you feel better.
It was also like a safe space in a way of like, yeah, it's not good that we did it, but I feel better now, kind of. So I don't know that what stands out. I mean, I guess I said a lot about how it stands out about like that time of my life and in like our generation's life. I definitely grew out of that, or like you found different ways to. I think I got really involved in other things that either like just like made me too busy to think about things, or I found community. And yeah, I don't know. It's just I think it's crazy that like once you learn one thing about another thing, like it really impacts the rest of it. And like, not to say that because I learned about suicide did that make me suicidal at some point, but like it's just interesting because like then you start to like, now as an adult I'm like, is it crazy? Like obviously like mental health can be something that's like genetic. So I'm just like, it's just so interesting. And then like, you know, in my family there's also just been like more of that, like attempts and stuff. So it's just like interesting to see it all connect, and like also connect it within myself of like, oh yeah, like that's something that I battled, whether it's because it's genetic or because of my own
like experiences.
Yeah, I don't know.
That made me think about how we're all worked up about our generation, like teaching the younger generation things like about trans rights or female rights or sex education in school, like the older generation being like, oh, it's teaching them these concepts, so now they're gonna do them.
Oh, interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
Or like they feel pressure to now participate in these different things, which I'm like, I mean, there's no winning, I think, regardless. Like our generation, because I think a lot of it too, of it being cool or whatever, was like shows were now talking about it to educate us, like See Your Life of American Teenager or like Teen Mom, and like we were very much aware of these situations going on, but I wouldn't say it made anyone more likely.
I don't think it made us do it.
It didn't make us do it for sure. I think the key is, if I guess like at the end of the day it does come down to like parents helping kids find community, and because like you found healthy ways to cope instead of the unhealthy ways. So once you found the healthy ways.
Yeah, and I think that's a big key of like, is that I found them by myself versus
right.
like being
encouraged
and parented to do those things.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big factor.
A lot to unpack there.
A lot to unpack.
What small step can you take towards your healing today? Like right now? I'm probably blocking my ex. I just never felt the need to. That fool never reached out for me.
Here we go. Here it is.
All right, here we go. I mean, whatever. It's calling me on no caller ID anyway.
It's gonna happen anyway, so.
Just kidding. I don't even know anymore. Ew, not me still having like his email. All right. Blocked.
Period. Oh my God. What are you currently healing from what others don't see?
Oh, man.
I feel like I don't want this to be so fucking heavy. Like, I just talked about self-harm and I'm like, more trauma. I'm gonna do just more like a base level one because I think the real answer is, I think like back to back is just too heavy.
Okay.
I like don't mind sharing, but it's just.
It feels like a lot?
Yeah. But
okay.
I think I'm really currently healing from like anxious thinking and like managing that. It's very hard. I find myself like feeling more peaceful. It definitely is so much easier just to like say one thing and then just fully get like wrapped up in like literally tumble and fall into it versus just being like, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, let's just take a step back. Let's make a plan of action and just, you know, like, let's take a pause. So I would say that. And I don't think that, like, I necessarily, when I'm saying, like, others don't see, like, I don't necessarily, like, say it all the time. I think the only person that sees it is probably Logan. That, like, she, like, tells me, like, I'm so, like, proud of you that you did this today because I feel like you could have just went in this direction. And that teaches me that I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm actually doing it versus, I don't know. So maybe that's the one.
It's a good one. Anxious thoughts are honestly killer.
Dude.
I did see a TikTok about one vitamin this guy started taking and he said his anxiety is gone.
Is it B complex?
I don't remember. I don't remember, but maybe. It's like 500 milligrams of something.
It might be. That's what I've been hearing, that B complex helps with like anxiety.
And he said it's just gone. I was like, what?
I know. I'm like, is everything just like a deficiency?
Like, why are we not trying it?
For real.
Why am I looking at TikToks and not trying it?
Dude. Kind of along with that like question or that answer to that question. And like also the first question of asking for help. I was really proud of myself the other day. I don't know what happened, but I just like woke up in the middle of the night and just immediately like started to have like panic and like anxious thoughts. I literally like my brain convinced me that everyone in my life did not like me.
Just randomly in the middle of the night.
Like but like to a very like real point where I was like I thought maybe Logan liked me like a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
But like I felt like you didn't want to actually be my friend. Like everyone in my life just was like insanely like disinterested in me and like hated me basically.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like that's literally so beyond reality. Like to the point like that there was so much like hastiness in like my head about like not like me towards them but like them like everyone towards me.
Yeah.
And like I cried for like I couldn't go. I was trying to like make myself stop and go to sleep. I couldn't sleep for 2 hours. I like sat out here and like just sobbed for like an hour and just tried to journal about it. Didn't really help though.
Oh my goodness.
I just like spit everything out in like my journal, but like all the thoughts I was having. I haven't even read it back because I'm like, that was so fucking weird. And then I had a moment of like not peace, but like I calmed down and I like sat back in bed and then all of a sudden again just like started fucking sobbing for another hour. And then I finally was like, I need to just have like Logan wake up because that bitch just like can sleep fucking through anything. I was sobbing in front of her and she couldn't even hear me.
She really can sleep.
It's kind of nice when you have to sob in the middle of the night.
It's kind of nice when you don't want to wake someone up for something.
But I like had to wake her up and I was like, honestly, I'm not good. Like I don't know what to do. And she like put on a show and like it was just like holding me.
I thought you
like,
meant literally put on a show. I was like, what
like,
yeah, I was like, wait a minute, Logan, doing too much.
No, she like put like Winnie the Pooh on or something for me. I don't remember what it was. But like it was bad and that's the only thing that calmed me down because like having a real person tell me
say that your thoughts are not.
It was just I haven't felt that much of a like it was almost a panic attack. It was a lot of anxiety. It wasn't a panic attack yet, but like it could have been. Like, but I haven't had that much anxious like thoughts in a really long time, and I don't even know what it was. Maybe just like
You must have been dreaming about something.
exhaustion. I've been having weird ass dreams too.
Yeah.
Like I had a dream that Logan like not necessarily cheated on me, but like
Girl.
that she also
Triggering.
I would like realize like maybe I shouldn't watch like Love Island right before going to bed because
Like, so that's how people are.
yeah.
Shady.
No, because in my dream she
She went to Casa More or what?
no, like she was like trying to have like a threesome with somebody. I think it was like somebody that looked like Uzi. If you're watching Love Island
Oh,
UK.
shit. Y'all like Uzi?
I don't like think he's cute or anything, but like my brain like just went to that, I guess, because it was like the last person I saw before I fell asleep. And like she was trying to have a threesome with him or something, and I was like,
I mean, that's kind of what was going on in the show.
Kind of, maybe.
So you were
Maybe.
kind of just putting yourself in the show,
in the
essentially.
show.
Yeah.
But like I was like telling Logan like I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to have another person in our relationship at this moment. Like can we just like
drop it
or like talk about it, because like she was just so dead set on it in the dream and in front of him, and so I was like, and she was like, it'll be fine, like it's fine. And I was like, bro, I can't do this. And so it was just like super triggering, and I woke up and I was like, I knew that was a dream, but I was just like so bummed out when I woke up. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Okay, last one. Oh no. Wild card. What would feel best to let go of today? Write it out and rip it up. I mean, we don't have paper. And
More metaphorically.
what would feel best to let go of today? Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling like I'm having an actually good day today. What would feel good to let go of?
Maybe like those triggered feelings that you felt in the middle of the night.
I already let go of those.
Those are dead and gone.
Those are dead. I was gonna say maybe everyone's expectations of me. I'm gonna let go of those.
Period.
Because who cares what other people expect me to do?
And that's on that. Metaphorically, rip, and burn.
In the trash. I think I had a really good conversation with my dad yesterday because I've been talking about my car a lot. And we were talking about like what makes the most sense for me, like to keep it, to get a new one, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was surprisingly like supportive. Like he wasn't like, oh my God, you're freelancing, I'm scared, please go get a job somewhere else. Like he did kind of throw that in a little, like
Yeah.
like find the thing that's gonna work for you. And then he talked about his work, and he was like, I'm not saying you have to work at my work with it, whatever. But he was very much just like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the reality of the situation is like they're going to look for this stable paycheck, and I don't have a stable paycheck because I'm freelance. So like everything's all over the place. But like it was positive. So I was like, even if you did say some fuck shit would hurt my feelings, but
For sure, but...
I'm letting go of that today, apparently.
Period.
So...
Well, hope you like answered some of these for yourself.
Yeah.
Or related, man. I think we're constantly like thinking about how we're not like, we all have shared fucking experiences and traumas and whatnot. So
Yeah.
if you're related in any type of way, please let us know.
Like,
Always wanna hear it.
honestly, please like this video on YouTube if you're watching it, or give us a rating, because we are out here putting our personal lives on blast. And it's getting scary. It's like affecting our
Real
day-to-day
life.
at this point. So if you're enjoying it, just like give us that little bit of love. It means a lot. Follow us on Instagram. Give us a DM if any of this is like relevant to your life, or if you want us to keep playing this. I mean, there's like 30 more cards that we didn't answer. So
Yep.
yeah, but we will see you guys in Glowing Hour. No idea what the topic is yet, but I'm sure it'll be juicy.
I'll see you then.